stressful, I think, but we have some really cool lights in here now, so it's exciting. It's like a party.
I feel like we're holding a press conference.
But we're all geeks, so it's really cool, right? So Jenna, tell me, what's your favorite TARDIS transformation?
My TARDIS.
I'll be.
Just emphasis on the word my. The one, I love the all-white one. Peter's really jealous actually, because he loves, you know, everything like from the classic era. So he walked into my TARDIS, and it was all white, and then it's a dagger on the outside, so it's multifunction.
So, tell me a little bit about Victoria.
Oh my goodness, what would you like to know?
Well, what's your favorite part about making this transition?
Going from making a show where you chase aliens and travel through time and space to then getting to play one of the most iconic monarchs in the world.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
A little bit of a glam up, huh?
Glam up? Are you kidding?
I mean, you know, it's just...
Oh goodness, no. Like, I mean, you know, I don't know if you look at images of Queen Victoria, she does not have forgiving hairstyles. At all.
Fair enough. All right, so if you guys are going to line up right here, you can line up over there, or no. Sit down, good, so everybody can see, and one question at a time. Are we ready for some questions? Yeah?
Yes.
I love this girl because she had this on at the last panel and she stole it from the hotel.
Hi. Yeah, it's for those who, it's a pattern from a carpet at a hotel from the Marriott in Dragon Con. So that's what it is. It's a pattern from a carpet. So it's a Dragon Con thing. So my question is, first of all, thank you very much for coming. And my question is, what was, during filming of Doctor Who, what was the most unexpected thing or incident, and it can be totally embarrassing because we won't tell anyone, that happened?
The most unexpected thing, I think, was how quickly it became normal. Have I done this right? There we go. Was how quickly it became normal, like the job in itself, the kind of the green screen and the aliens and running, and then in between takes, like chatting to an alien about what he's going to eat for his lunch. And the weird thing is when people ask you questions about it, you realise actually it's become so part of you every day that it's the most normal thing in the world, but actually it's kind of not. So I think that was kind of what was most unexpected. But I mean, day to day, there was lots of, you know, falling overs and tripping up and doing stunts, and Peter likes to wander a lot, and we used to try and run away from the runners because it was me and Peter on camera and on set all the time. You'd always have some runners with you, some ADs we call them, who had to keep a strict eye on you, so it was quite a good, fun game to play. Have to see, give the runners a heart attack. Hi.
Hi.
That was a very different voice.
Yeah, sweetie. I'll go to you next.
Hello.
Why did you decide to join Doctor Who?
Because I got to travel through time and space, and my best friend would be an alien, and you'd get to tell really, really cool stories and like have a spaceship, which is kind of like your home. So it was just, it was impossible to say no to. You kind of, it didn't feel like a job, it was an adventure.
Thank you. Over here. Hi.
I was wondering what your favorite alien in the series is.
I really like the silence. It's the ones that come at you slowly which really freak me out. Like on screen, the weeping angels are the scariest, but to work with, the way you have to shoot with the camera is like you know they're there, and then you have to be like kind of edged in, and you do clever camera work to make them scary. But on set, to work with the silence are the most scary to me. And the Whispermen. No one talks about the Whispermen. I loved the Whispermen. I still stand by that.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. My question for you is, what is it like to play Bonnie?
Oh, weird. Again, I loved it because it was obviously, you know, you kind of felt like you got to do the Doctor Who villain for an episode. Although, what it meant was, because Bonnie was talking with Clara and Bonnie, it meant I spent a lot of time by myself. So in that episode, I was literally just like talking to green screen and like, which is, I'm so used to working with Peter who's so reactive. I can't believe I just compared Peter to a green screen. But because, you know, so as soon as I saw Peter again, I was like, oh, I'm so happy to like be acting with a human being again. Because a lot of work of Bonnie and Clara meant I was, you know, at the TV and just at a green screen for days and days. So although I loved, you know, kind of doing the darker side of it, it was nice to work with humans.
Hi.
Hello.
Did you watch Doctor Who before you were on it?
You got that written on your arm?
Yes.
No, I didn't. Can you believe? Because I was about 18 when it came back, because it went missing off screen for quite a while in the UK. So I was 18 when it came back and kind of missed it, but was always very aware of it. So it wasn't until I auditioned that I watched the 11th hour. Have you got another question written on your arm?
Well, sort of.
What was that?
And how did like being in Doctor Who change how you thought about it?
Oh, I mean, as soon as I watched an episode, as soon as I read a Stephen Moffat scene, actually, never mind script, I was instantly like, ooh, this is fun. Like, with Stephen's writing it's got such a rhythm and a beat, and that's the first thing from the auditions, and the scenes were just so ridiculously fun. So then I watched some, and then I met Matt, and it was like acting with a tornado. And the rest was history. I was kind of sold.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nice to see you again.
Hey.
Okay, hi.
Hi.
Okay, so first off, how do you like Tampa and Florida and everything?
I haven't seen very much. I would lie, but I'm not very good at that. I got here last night.
Oh, okay, well, alright. So, now that Doctor Who is not on Netflix and I can't like lie around watching it all day, what would you recommend I waste my time doing?
Oh, no, wait, carry on. Sorry, what did you say? I missed it.
Now that Doctor Who's off Netflix and I can't waste all summer watching that, what would you recommend I watch instead?
I started watching something last night, actually, called, is it Stranger Ways?
Great thing.
Really good.
Dude, trying to stick to it. I've literally watched the first episode, but I felt like it's that kind of like throwback to all those 80s films as a kid growing up. So I was really enjoying that. In the night of I watched episode 1. Have you seen that HBO show? I watched episode 1 and I don't have subscription here, so I can't watch episode 2 and it's killing me. So if anyone wants to give me their HBO subscription, that would be much appreciated.
Thank
Blinders.
Okay, got it.
Hi. Oh my gosh.
Hello.
So, what was your favorite episode to shoot with Matt Smith?
This is Snowman. The Snowman was great. I would say it's Sound with the Daleks because I loved it, but again, that was through a green screen, not really to Matt as such, although I loved it on the screen and the script and the story. So for me, the Snowman still, I think it's like when the Doctor enters your life and what that reaction is to meeting him for the first time. I loved that story and kind of like stalking him and chasing him down, which was a lot of what the Snowman was. He will be my friend.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
It's loud, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like hearing your own voice back. It's not pleasant.
What's your most embarrassing story with Matt?
Oh, I don't know. It was more Matt doing the embarrassing stuff, I think. Maybe that's just me. Or maybe I blocked out the very embarrassing stuff. A lot of what Matt used to do is, you know, which is actually why I think he's ended up having a knee operation, which is like all the doctors end up having knee operations in the same one, seriously. And I think it's because, you know, like when you're doing the running action stuff and then like you come to a skid. So you like skid along the, and then come to a stop, and it's like the action pose, Doctor Who, using your knees thing. So we used to have this surface, like in, what's the episode? Episode 2, the, oh my goodness, the alien planet one. Thank you, yes, Rings of Agaton. And then there was like all this sand stuff on the floor, so Matt did this like really cool skid, but then carried on going and like fell over like a palm tree onto the floor, and then stood up and tried to pretend it didn't hurt. I tried to pretend, like, carry on, that it was cool, but it kind of ruined it.
She was wondering if she could give you a bracelet.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Oh.
Thank you so much. Oh, thank you, nice to meet you.
Oh, I see. Oh. Very nice.
Over there with the awesome bow tie.
Both heads are cool. So working with Matt Smith and Peter Capaldi, who did you enjoy playing, being the doctors?
What is it with this question? This is like asking who your favourite child is.
You as the doctor for that episode, or Matt and Peter as the doctor?
Oh, say that again, sorry.
Which one would you?
Which one do I prefer?
Yes.
The doctor.
Working with, like, hands-on.
David Tennant.
Can't argue with that.
You've not got an answer.
When your character's splintered across all of the Doctor's timeline, do you think that there'll be any of the audio adventure, the classic Doctor, with you in them?
I mean, there was a point where I was hoping all of the Clara echoes would appear in the scene and the Doctor would have to face them, but that's probably the most egotistical thing has ever said. I just love millions of versions of me in the scene. But it would have been quite interesting, I think, to have had the different Claras from the different timelines meet at some point, so I'm not sure, maybe there's, yeah, a comic book or an audio or, you know, something somewhere.
Thank you.
Captain America.
So, I said saving the world from Hydra. Anyways, what was your most memorable moment on set?
Oh, that's such a big question. I think, in fact, what literally just sprung to my mind then was an image of me on the TARDIS, and I had a line, and it was like the first day of filming the 50th, and then David Tennant, Matt Smith, and John Hurt all turned their heads at the same time to look at me, and I literally just cracked up. I like became giggly girl, like nervous giggles, like this. It was too hilarious. So working with the three doctors together was a really good experience.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi, well, first off, thank you for coming to Tampa. It's great to see you. So it was a shock to all of us to see you play a Dalek in your first episode, especially since I knew you were going to be the nice companion.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you find out you were going to be a Dalek in your first episode? What was that like?
I didn't know that until I read the script for the first time. And it's so funny is I remember, because I hadn't watched Doctor Who like much before and I was new to the whole world really, I sat with Google open and Stephen's script. So anytime they describe anything remotely that I like, you know, some word for like Dalek, you know, collection spaceship or whatever, I was literally like Googling at the same time as reading and then listening to the music that was on. And so reading that script for the first time was amazing. I was so excited. But yeah, it was literally, you get that a lot with Stephen's scripts. You don't know what's going to happen, so you experience it as you read it for the first time, which is a really good way to do it, I think.
Thank you.
Over there.
I'm sorry, but this might be like a personal question, I guess, but what's your favorite cat breed?
My favorite
Cat breed?
cat breed?
Yeah.
My friend's got a cat called Rory, who looks like Garfield. Is that a breed? She'd be so happy. She'd be so happy right now if she knew this was happening. Look for Rory the cat.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi.
So, oh my gosh, crap. Okay. So, when you
Died. It was just like, it was horrible. I cried.
Sorry.
So how did you feel when you read that and you're just like, I'm gonna die?
Well, I was more, because Stephen had told me I was, that I was, we're going to do a one-hander episode for episode 11, and Clara's last episode would be episode 12. So I read episode 10, Face of the Raven, and I was like, how does this work? So I remember I had to text him to be like, so is this the goodbye? Do we play this as the real goodbye? And he was like, no. Like, this is the real goodbye, but we're going to end it in a different way. Which is, again, always the case with Stephen, it's all very mysterious. So I remember thinking it was a great episode, and then on set they launched an actual raven at me. They just stood me on a mark and then let Raven free from a cage with the trainer behind me. So then I kept forgetting to die because I was so happy that the Raven hadn't hit me. And also that, the experience of it was so exhilarating because it literally just went past your head, really, really close, this huge Raven. So then I kept forgetting to fall on the ground afterwards, so we had to do it again and again and again. So that was quite a fun day.
Thank you.
Over there.
Hi, I'm the old man. I've been following Doctor Who since 1969.
Wow.
Yes, and Tom Baker is the best. But besides that, the young girl stole my thunder a little bit. You made me cry twice. When you died, and the scene in the diner. That was really intense. Which leads to my question, is there any possibility of a Clara Oswald and me series coming out?
I keep getting asked this. I'm not sure. I think maybe some things are best left to the imagination. The idea that they're off in time and space with their own TARDIS, the two girls, and the Doctor doesn't quite know, or they're still kind of working out how to use the TARDIS and they're just broken down somewhere. It's like another alternative. But who knows? I like the idea that they're kind of out there roaming around the universe together, but I think maybe perhaps it's best to leave it to the imagination. Plus, I think Maisie's pretty booked up, so.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Thank you so much for coming. My question is, so one of my favorite scenes is in Darkwater when you threaten the Doctor's whole entire ignoring the keys.
Crazy.
Yeah. Watching that scene gave me positive chills. It's one of my favorite things to rewatch. So I was wondering, the fans have such emotional reactions to the show when they watch it. Is it possible for you as a person in the show to go back and watch the episodes that you're in and get the same reaction at all, or is that completely lost on you because you were in the episode?
I think to a certain degree, yes. I find it easier to watch things at distance, but I think, when you've got the image, when you're watching the scenes, you remember what you were looking at, which was like the world in which you're acting in, and then you've got the camera, you've got the DOP, you've got the lights, you've got 50 crew. So it's an interesting question actually, but sometimes it is hard when you've shot it to then watch it as a story and lose yourself in it, which is a real shame. But not really, because you get to act it, so that's good. So yeah, I don't know, it's definitely easier to watch it at distance, for sure.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Hi. I don't know if anyone asked you this question or not, but who's your favorite Doctor?
All of them. He's one guy.
Hello. Hi. Or you can go. Hi. What was your favorite scene to shoot?
Oh, there's too many. They're all so different. I really enjoyed the Ben Wheatley sequence in Deep Breath that we did, that went kind of in the underground chamber, holding your breath, although I did nearly pass out. That was a really kind of more kind of horror-induced fun sequence to shoot. But there's loads of them. I mean, the spiral staircase sequence with the TARDIS amongst the stars and the clouds was amazing. They just kind of built this huge pen and filled it with dry ice, and I just got to jump around. That was fun.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
If you could actually just you as yourself travel with the doctor, which doctor would you travel with, and where would you go? Or when would you go?
I would travel. I'd love to travel with Tom Baker. Go back. I mean, I've travelled with a lot of the others, really. But I'd like to go to Egypt and work out how the pyramids got there, meet Cleopatra, perhaps. Maybe I should go meet Queen Victoria, because it would be great research. Great research.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Have you got it written on your arm as well?
No, that was just something my mom did for
No, she didn't. No, she didn't.
But I wanted to ask you, do you have a crush on Peter Capaldi?
I don't even know how to respond.
He's too old for you.
I'm speechless. The first time I met Peter, we went for omelettes together. And he sat me down, and about our characters, one of the first things he said was, well, there'll be no romance then. That was my Scottish accent.
It's a good Scottish accent. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too.
Hello. Hi. Have there been any on-set pranks, and if so, what was the funniest one?
I did one which just went down terribly. It wasn't funny at all. But Peter used to tease me. One of Peter's favourite jokes is he'll, whenever I do something that's a bit wrong or get a line wrong or whatever, he's teasing, I think. He's always like, where's Billy Piper? Get Billy Piper back in. And it's like this ongoing joke. And then he'll be always like, talking about his future companions and other companions to tease me, basically. So there was this one particular actress, I won't mention who's always saying would make a great companion, and he'd talk to other people while I'm there going, wouldn't this person make a great companion? And it's all tongue-in-cheek. So then during one take, I got a mask made and printed of this said actress. So then during a take he turned around and it wasn't me, it was me with this mask on. This actress who he was saying would be so good as a companion. But he was so surprised, it kind of just didn't. It's like the crew laughed and then it was like, okay, cool, right. So let's get back on with making Doctor Who. So that was a great prank.
Thank you. Hello.
Besides Clara, who is your favorite companion?
I loved Karen Gillan. I loved Amy Pond. I loved her story of meeting the Doctor as a child and kind of going through. And there was something so kind of platonic, I think, about their love. And I liked the fact that they kind of looked similar ages, but they were kind of like worlds apart. I thought their arc was lovely.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi. Hi.
So, I admire you as a performer so much, and I'd like to be an actor someday, and I wanted to know if you had any tips for, getting into the business and actually pursuing acting as a career.
I would say lots really. Read as much as you can, watch as many films as you can, go to the theatre. And also, good advice that someone said recently was, pick up a camera and start filming things. iPhones even have got so good video cameras that you can actually start making your own material. Because I think 9 times out of 10, the hardest thing is actually getting in a place where you can be seen, either whether that's in a play or on camera somehow, or that's that getting those first steps are often like the hardest bit. Keep going.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hello. Hi.
Hi.
My question for you is, have you ever made an episode without a green screen?
Have I ever made an episode without screaming?
No.
Oh, sorry.
A green screen.
A green screen. Most probably not, I would like to say, but the Kill the Moon episode, we went to Lanzarote and shot most of it there, so most of that was in green screen, which was the moon, apart from certain bits. But no, probably not. Listen was actually relatively simple to shoot because we had a guy under a red blanket, and that was our monster. It was really scary. Sometimes the simpler is better.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hello. You had to make the transition between working with Matt Smith to Peter Capaldi. Were there any just major sudden differences, maybe shocking differences between the two?
Yeah, there was lots actually. I think the main thing I noticed was Matt's doctor was always like a tornado and dancing, like we always talk about, like it's kind of a lot about dancing together and around the TARDIS and around the console, and you kind of had to find your way into the hurricane, if that makes any, I'm being very metaphorical. But Peter's doctor was a lot more enigmatic and would make, Peter would make the room come to him, whereas Matt would go out to the room. And that was probably the most interesting, immediate difference I felt working with both. But ironically, their ways of working are really, really similar. And I think maybe it is a thing of why Stephen casts certain actors in the role of the Doctor, and it's about being spontaneous and mercurial and take, just trying different things and throwing it up in the air. And that's what both of them do. And I think it's why David Tennant and Matt got on so well and worked together so well while making the anniversary. And I think if Matt and Peter were to work together, it'd be the same thing. It'd be really exciting because you've got these two meetings of these incredibly immediate, spontaneous actors with no kind of fear in a way, which is really exciting.
So cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. Hi, ladies. I think this is awesome what you're doing to give advice to everybody. I'm Dawn Reese with Hollywood Connections on Tan Talk Radio 106.1 FM. And my question to you is, because my show has about getting breaks, how did you get your break in show business?
I was incredibly lucky. I was auditioning for drama school, and through a tiny agent in the town I was from called Blackpool, which was more of like an extras agency in fact, was I had a part for a show called Emmerdale, which was like a soap, and then that got into a small part, which then the writers kept writing me in, is basically how I got started. But I was doing a lot of plays at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival and things like that beforehand.
Awesome. I have a reporter in the UK. His name is CJ, and could you say something to CJ, because he is in the United Kingdom, and he loves you so much. He watches your programs all the time. His name is, could you say hi, CJ?
Top of the morning. CJ.
There you go, CJ, for you. Thank you.
I have a quick question. I'm thinking in my head. I think a lot of people don't understand the whole production logistics. You know, there's a lot that goes into filming. And what do you do the night before your call time to prepare for that whole day? I mean, you have so much, I mean, the days are so long.
What me and Peter used to do, so I would usually get picked up at say 5:30, and then on Doctor Who we were on set at 7:30 on camera to rehearse, and then you film through to 7 p.m. is the kind of schedule that you're on. So what me and Peter began to do a lot is, because Peter in particular, his dialogue is insane. And you know, more often than not, I'm pretty fast at learning lines anyway, but I would not have the kind of jargon that he has. So we just run them together in between takes. So we'd be filming on one scene, and then we had little desks next to one another in the corner of the TARDIS. So we would just run over and be running like the next couple of days dialogue to try to get ahead. And then when we start distracting each other and being silly and pathetic, as we used to do, doing stupid voices and accents, my desk got moved to the accent. So we had to be apart for a bit. And also because we'd get a bit too giddy, and if you get too giddy, then you get a bit too tired to like finish the day, so you have to really try and manage your energy, otherwise you end up on like 4 or 5 coffees a day. But it was so much fun. The two of us were just in our little universe for, you know, 9 months a year.
It's a lot of work. Okay, where were we? We were with you. Hi. Hi.
Sorry.
So I love your hair.
Yeah.
Breathe.
Hi.
Hello. You can do it! Give me a hint. Three words? 4.
Sorry, I'm really nervous. I just wanted to say I love your work. I love you. Like, you're one of my favorite companions.
Oh, thank you.
What I wanted to know is, sorry.
He's nervous.
So far, what was like your favorite place to go? Like when you're filming, like if you guys had to like go to different places to film, where was your favorite place?
To actually film, or to, I mean, riding a motorbike across Westminster Bridge was pretty cool, like along the Houses of Parliament with Matt in Bells of St. John. That was pretty cool. And then in the 50th anniversary, we got to come in by crane hanging off the TARDIS, like into Trafalgar Square. That was another amazing day. And then Lanzarote, we filmed Kill the Moon, but it's like 30-degree heat and we're in astronaut outfits, so we had to wear cooling suits. So you couldn't go very far because after a take you had to go get plugged in to like an emergency system and just stand there like to a generator so that the cooling system would work, because otherwise it was too hot. So that was quite interesting. Yeah, I don't think we've really filmed elsewhere. We did a lot of green screen. I hear they've just been to Seville.
Thank you, sorry.
No, don't say.
Hi. Hello. So I'm Keisha Valgas. I'm USA National Teen, and I'm a reporter for 106.1 FM. And a lot of our viewers were wondering, who was your agency before you got into Doctor Who?
They are still my agents. Connor and Sam of Troika Talent.
Oh, and also our audience were wondering if you do radio interviews as well.
Yes, I do. Am I on radio right now?
Actually, yes, she is. She's recording right now for her radio station, and she does want to get in touch with you. So she's wondering who she would have to contact if you want to
I
have that
see. I'm just going to use my radio voice.
Alright, thank you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
My name is Logan.
Hi.
Hi.
What's your favorite character?
Who is my favourite character in all of Doctor Who? Out of like villains and monsters, goodies, baddies, companions, everyone. Yeah? I'll go with the Doctor. Missy is a close second. Strax first. Who's your favourite?
Spider-Man.
Very charming.
Hi. Hello. Well, I'm going to have a long Anyway, my question is, beyond the TV series, you also do movies as well. My question is, what is the difference between filming in a movie and filming in a TV series?
Generally, you get longer, generally. I have to say, I mean, you know, Doctor Who is extraordinary for what it achieves on the kind of schedule and the budget that it has. It really is, you know, we've got huge space in Cardiff and huge studios to make the show, so it's just a case of you have to do it quicker under a more intense schedule is kind of the main difference really with TV to film. It was quite interesting working on 3D actually in the 50th because we had a lot longer there for what would have been an hour and a half episode. But practically because of the cameras were so large, you'd get a lot more time.
Oh, thank you very much.
I've got 2 more questions. Time for 2 more, so you?
Well, I feel bad, so what was your favorite adventure / episode for Doctor Who?
Adventure-wise, Orient Express was quite fun. Although I was shooting Flatline at the same time actually, so I wasn't around much for that episode. But I really enjoyed that series because it was, you know, stepping into storybooks, going to meet Robin Hood and going to the 1920s. And I mean, again, for me, The Snowman is such a favourite episode of mine, just being in Victorian London, and that adventure in itself felt a bit fairy tale and quite romantic in a way, which I enjoyed.
Thank you. One more?
What's the best part of making Doctor Who?
The best part? All of it, the stories. The stories are the best part because there's not really any other acting job in the world where you get to tell such big and bold and whimsical stories week to week that are so different in genre and style. So it's a very dynamic show and a really fast-moving show, and you don't really get that on any other job that I can think of.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Give it up for Jenna. Thank you, co-singer, actor, and Christina. Ryan Slater. Thank you very much.
We hope you enjoyed this panel at Tampa Bay Comic-Con.